Welcome, everybody, to this week's IncCast, recorded live here at Walker Design Studios, the official home for Fanboys Incorporated. In this week's episode, we're going to talk a little bit comic book movie buzz news with some Jurassic Park trailers, Star Wars trailer. I can't wait to sink into this Star Wars debate that we've been seeing for the last week. We're going to talk a little bit about a Marvel actor not happy with doing Marvel movies and is really doesn't want to play anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Yes.
I can't wait to
as
listen.
well. There is going to be some great comic book news with a awesome dynamic duo, a new team up, a new writer team up to bring you some more Dark Knight, and we'll get into that. And sitting across from me as we start the show is Mr. Joe Nubb.
What's going on, everybody?
How was before we get into it? I got a couple things, but how was your Turkey Day?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good Thanksgiving. I ran a 5K little.
Oh yeah,
we don't want
right.
to call it a marathon, but just a 5K
Did you run?
Yeah.
Did you run?
Ran most of the time. Stopped a couple times.
Did
not
you?
gonna lie, but
you?
I did the run. It's 3.1 miles for all you listeners, and I did it in just under 30 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad for your first one.
Not too
Yeah,
shabby,
not
yeah.
bad.
And I was pretty hungover too, so
You dumbass.
I got that going for me.
Jesus Christ.
So note to say, here's something I realized though: I will never do another one of these 5Ks. Like, it's so funny when my friend asked me, white people love to run 5Ks. They just love it. And I always see everybody on Facebook.
White people?
They really do.
Was a black friend of yours saying this, or was
No.
it you're just saying white people? There was no black people running 5Ks?
And while we're at it, go and check out stuffwhitepeoplelike.com. It's hysterical.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, if you go on Facebook, I'm willing to bet if you are friends with some females on Facebook, like 25% of them run 5Ks, and you'll see periodic photos on their Facebook pages. You know, some of my buddies run 5Ks. You know, I see them on their pages too. So anyways, my friend asked me, I was like, cool, let's do it. Could use some exercise, a little pick-me-up before I go and wolf down some turkey and stuffing all day. But what I realized, it also cuts into the time of the rare time of year
Recovering
when you see,
from a hangover?
No, but when you see friends that are home, like the one time a year they come home. And so I don't want to have to cut into that because I sheepishly have to walk out, you know, hey guys, I got to go make sure I get 8 hours of sleep and I'm well rested to go and run at 8 in the morning.
So your priorities are, I'd rather drink with friends than exercise.
Yahtzee.
So
No,
do a 5K
I'll do
at a different time of year.
Well, that's it. That's what I realized. I will do a 5K, in the spring. I'll do it, I don't know, the day after Thanksgiving. I'll do it some
you
other
really
time.
want to run the day after Thanksgiving?
I could have used
I don't think so.
the day after Thanksgiving.
Also coming up in this week's today's episode, we're going to sit with Mike Sains via Skype. We're going to talk a little indie corner and get some of his hot picks, or the hot pick of them all for independent corner, and we'll get with him in just a second. But well, I'm glad you had a good Thanksgiving. I mean,
yeah,
it
how was
does
your
suck.
Thanksgiving, pal?
I just stayed home.
Yeah.
And I don't do anything.
Right.
Yeah, no family, no nothing. So I just stay home and did some work, did catching up on some reading.
That's good. Shall we ask Mike what he did for his Thanksgiving?
We
or are
will.
not
We
allowed to
will
talk
when
to him
we
yet?
will when he comes on.
I can't talk to him. Yet.
No,
All
you
right.
cannot. He's not here yet. But
We just heard from him. Go on. Mike, stop laughing.
Yeah. Anyway.
You were saying.
Also, to holidays, we're gonna. I'm gonna put you on the hot seat. We're gonna come up in the next couple of weeks. We're gonna do the top 10 holiday gift list by Mr. Joe Nubb as far as toys, collectibles. We'll do that for our, we'll tease a little bit, and now we'll do our Christmas spectacular that we have. So yeah, I think a good top 10 gifts. Range them out. You know, I mean, I know I've seen a lot. Yeah, I've seen a lot of lists, and that's great if you want a life-size Rocket Raccoon for $350, but that's not feasible for everybody. I'd like to see a price range. There's some great toys that are affordable for anybody, for the kids,
Sure.
and of course our serious collectors. But before we get into today's episode, did you see in the news about the man who admitted that he himself is Spider-Man and wrote his own obituary?
Oh yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. He died of cancer recently.
Yeah,
but he wrote his
and
obituary.
we have. I would love to write my own obituary. I don't know how bad it would be, or how, you know, maybe it's pompous. Is it pompous that you write your own obituary? And does somebody accept that? Obviously, I never thought that somebody would accept your own obituary. I thought somebody writes it for you.
In reading the gentleman's obit that was making the rounds on the internet there, it was heartwarming. It was touching.
Oh, very much so. Where the cause of his cancer was the radioactive spider, and he was Peter Parker
Right.
dealing with the situations of life. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
A really nice twist. Very touching. I thought that was kind of neat. And it's gotten a lot of press. I just didn't know that you could write your own obituary. I guess it's not something that somebody really thinks about.
I don't think it happens too often.
No.
No.
So yeah, cool. If you can check that out, you can check that out online. Just type in Spider-Man obit. Really cool. I believe he was a 25-year-old young man. So that was very young to be passing away. Cancer is evil. It's just evil. But yeah, Thanksgiving, holidays. I'm looking forward. Oh, by the way, I know I'm ranting before we get into the show. Last night I texted you last night. I was going through some old FBI IncCast episodes, and a friend of mine's on traveling to Chicago on a train. So he hit me up. He's like, "What would be your best, IncCast episode?" So I'm sitting on the train for 15 hours. So I had given him, our annual Fanboys Inc. Awards 1 and 2, and then I saw the year in review, and I turned it on. I pissed myself. I don't know how many times those clips and just the funny things that we had said and how bad some of the audio quality was. And back then, for you listeners, it was September 13th was our year. September 18th to 2013 was our year anniversary. We had some great call-in guests. We had Ronnie Porto and Thomas Mum from the Accelerators, Comic Head, a couple other guys, Joe St. Pierre. What was I trying to say? The quality, and just like when we first started, episodes 1 through 5, everybody was commending us on our audio quality, and it doesn't sound like an AM station. And I go back and I'm listening, going, holy shit, wow, those guys were real polite. Thanks, fans that you were that have been with us from episode 1, because that was pretty bad, but I couldn't help but laugh. Go back and check out some of our past pods. Check out the episode 50, year 1 on September 18th, 2013. We'll post it up on our Facebook page. Just funnier than hell. But let's get into this week's episode. As I hinted in the beginning of the show, we talked trailer talk, a little bit comic book movie buzz, CBMB. 2 trailers came out while we were on our holiday hiatus. We had Jurassic World.
Yep. Which was cool.
It looks really cool. I had talked to a couple people, and everybody's like, I don't know. It's like overexcited for the fact of seeing Jurassic Park. What would this be? 3? 4. The last 2 sequels were mediocre at best, and then I'm just like, great CGI, awesome new dinosaurs. I thought that was cool, but it's the same. It's kind of like, okay, people go to a park. Ooh, people see the dinosaurs at the park. Then the dinosaurs eat the people, and now we have we have Chris Pratt. Whoopee doo.
He's the flavor of the month. Well, first off, let me interject.
Oh, and we have one new dinosaur.
Jurassic Park 2 sucked. Jurassic Park 3, I like that one a lot, which of course was directed by Joe Johnston, who of course directed Captain America: First Avenger, as well as he was a concept artist for the original Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems the same premise. Okay. Oh, awesome dinosaurs. Oh no, dinosaurs are chasing us. Oh, dinosaurs are eating us. End of movie. I don't know. I mean, for me, the first one was amazing because it's the first time we saw these special effects.
I agree.
And it was just, holy shit, this is awesome. I think I was more excited about that movie per se, maybe than even Avengers, just for the fact of the CGI. I mean, as little kids, we love dinosaurs.
Right.
We love them.
Right.
We have superheroes RLF. We see them in comics. Yeah, on the big screen, it's awesome. But actually seeing a CGI flesh and blood type dinosaur, that was amazing.
Yeah.
But then 2 was a stretch. 3 was okay, and I'm like, 4?
3 introduces us to pterodons. So we got that going.
But we do have a new dinosaur, supposedly a new morphed creature.
Yeah, but this is like a genetically manipulated dinosaur.
The only thing is I'm saving 1050. That's one less movie I have to. I just can't see
that movie.
it.
I'll go and see.
Really,
I like the underwater. I forget what kind of a dinosaur it is. I forget all my paleontology lessons. But it was cool that, that the shark is kind of getting just.
I saw that.
Over the tank, and it jumps up. But this is the first time I will say, as far as the story standpoint, this actually differs from the previous 3 because now they actually have a park, and the park is open to the mass public.
Right.
It's not like the first one where it was just like his, John Hammond's grandkids and a couple of scientists and a lawyer.
It was like a science. It was like what do you want to call that? wasn't a park, but it was like just a preserve, and they were working on in the first three.
I mean, it was supposed to be.
I don't know. I mean, I'll watch it when it comes out on DVD or I'll rent it or whatever, but it just seems the same.
You're not that excited.
Yeah, it just seems the same type of premise. Don't get me wrong. I think the visuals are amazing.
Chris Pratt.
Who gives a shit?
But I did like the
Chris
part.
Pratt's nothing without that hairy little guy walking around Rocket Raccoon.
I wouldn't say that. I like the part though towards the end where he's on the bike and they release the raptors and they're like running with him.
That was cool visual.
So that's like, all right. So now they've learned to control They've learned to control their deadliest enemy.
Are they raptors though? They're awful small to be raptors.
No, they were like raptor size.
I thought they were little guys, and those could have been dinosaurs that don't eat meat. They could have been herbivores.
Quickly, we need help. Release the herbivores.
Yeah, right. Chomp off of that grass.
We need help with the largest, most terrifying dinosaur. Release the herbivores. There's too much high grass in the area. We need them to remove it.
Yes, we don't want them getting covered. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think the CGI is great. I think it'll do well. Just not for me as a premise. We'll ask Mr. Sains in just a second as he joins us about Jurassic Park, as well as, let's talk about it, Stephen Colbert has finally told every nerf herder you're wrong on 2 nights ago on the Colbert Report. What the fuck is going on about this?
The way you were leading into one of the most highly anticipated teaser trailers.
Yeah, Star Wars about it. Yeah, because
Star Wars.
Yeah. But that doesn't seem to care. That's not the big story. The big story is the lightsaber. Doesn't matter about the trailer.
And the black stormtrooper that everybody's...
Oh, give me a friggin' break.
I know. I'm on board with that. But you know what? All right, what was your impression? The first impression? Watching the teaser trailer for the first time.
Too short. It was too short for me. I was like, right when it got me hooked, you know, when the supposed Sith Lord with that awesome lightsaber. And then it fades to black, and then we hear Luke Skywalker's lightsaber light up. That was been confirmed that is the actual sound. Luke's lightsaber sounds a little bit different than everybody else's. Each have their own distinct little noise. I thought there was going to be one more kind of flash. Maybe you see the light glimmering from off of old Luke or something.
Right.
But I was like, shit. I mean, a teaser trailer is supposed to make you go, shit. Like you want more. Overall, I think for me, the highlight of the whole trailer was the Millennium Falcon. We've always seen the Millennium Falcon maneuver in space through the stars and through the armadas, but seeing that thing just fly up and then this, you know, skim across the desert, and I thought that was really cool. Overall, I think the trailer was great. I think, you know, as far as, you know, the black stormtrooper, you know what, people?
What's the guy's name? I forget his name.
I forgot the actor. He was in
Attack the Block.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that the British alien invasion movie that came out several years ago?
I am not sure. Could be. But I'm like, people over it. First off, oh my God, it's not a clone. If you were, and I was talking with Josh Bodwell, and he wants me to say on the pod, was like, if you're a true fan, you know they stopped using clones.
Yeah.
They use real people. They recruit them. So, and then
even by listening, like in the original 3 movies, when stormtroopers talk, you're like, that's not how the clones sound. And it's not as if when George Lucas went and redubbed everything with the special editions and then even manipulated them further with DVD and Blu-ray releases. It's not like he changed all the stormtroopers' voices to fit the clone.
Right. So, what was your favorite part?
Well, my first impression when I saw it,
I just thought amazing.
Like the opening scene with Andy Serkis doing the voice narration. It was almost, you know, because Serkis, you know, obviously the guy that does the voice of Gollum, he's got that kind of almost like a cartoony voice. And so when I'm watching it, I'm like, is this one for real? Because I know there have been a few parodies teasers that came out prior to this actual one, and then like the stormtroopers' heads pops up into frame like so abruptly. And I honestly had to look in the corner of my computer to make sure I was actually on iTunes watching this and this wasn't another gag trailer. But it was cool. But here's the way I posted, or I posed my impression to friends who were asking me about it, because I know what a Star Wars nerd I am, is that like, it's cool, but without knowing anything of the story, all we saw were just a series of special effects shots, which is fine. But it's also 2014. Special effects shots are a dime a dozen. So for me to get really jacked up, really amped up, and really excited about this, it just didn't happen.
It's a teaser of a teaser of a teaser. And we know we're so far up, but like, I was really excited.
But the more I watched it, the more I did appreciate it. It was cool. Like the soccer ball little droid, he was cool looking. What else?
Rumor has it the girl on that speeder,
Uh-huh.
it's her droid.
Okay. Yeah, the speeder looked cool.
That was pretty cool.
We're on Tatooine. The more I actually saw the stormtrooper in the beginning, and his head pops up, and he's like breathing heavy. He's covered in sweat.
I think he's in disguise. I think he's could be in disguise. He's running away from them.
Who knows?
Or he's just finally realizing these guys are a bunch of a-holes. I got to get out of here.
Who knows? Maybe he's
but
actually
before
part
we
of
get
an
into
Imperial
the
detachment and it, like,
before we get
crash
into the meat of this, sorry,
All right.
this
I guess I'm
this trailer, sorry, keep going. Let's bring in our guest for today, Mr. Independent Jones, a capeless crusader and fanboysinc.com reviewer, editor and reviewer, Mr. Mike Sains. What's going on, sir?
Hi. What's going on, guys?
I know you've been yeah, can we play him in? I know you've been sitting there waiting patiently, biting at the
His
bit.
name is John Boyega.
Thank you.
I know both trailers, you have your own thoughts on them. So before we finish up with our comic book movie buzz and the lightsaber, what did you think of Jurassic Park?
I'm not excited for it. I'm very underwhelmed by it. Jurassic Park 3, Joe Johnston, I like everything that he's done after Jurassic Park 3, but oh man, I mean, there are so many points in that movie that lose me, and I don't know, 2 and 3 weren't enough to make me like, oh my god, it's back. It's like it felt like a franchise that like ended on a soft note, and then it's coming back like, right, everybody loved this the whole time, right guys?
Right. And I kind of I kind of see that,
Guys, right?
Yeah.
Let's all serve the industry for this one here.
You know, I will say my nephews love it, and they're 9 and 10 and 11, something like that. So I think kids still watch,
of course,
the Jurassic Park.
Of course.
Yeah, sure.
Of course.
It's,
Dinosaurs
again,
are always they're
right.
everlasting as far as
again, we're not going to be the audience. After a certain points, we're no longer the people these studios are marketing to.
I want to know how many times Chris Pratt takes his shirt off. Then we'll
or
figure
makes
out the
that
demographic.
blue steel face. He's making the Zoolander face the whole time. Like
that's his pensive, serious face.
Yes.
That's his.
He does that thing with his lips. It's like, stop doing that thing with your lips, man.
That's his. I'm not on Parks and Rec right now face. So I have to be serious.
Guys, take me very seriously. I lost this weight. It took a long time.
Just come hither, look.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, like, I was impressed by that giant alligator thing that ate the shark. That was really cool and something I didn't see coming. But like the rest of it, I was like a little like, oh, so instead of the old man, it's going to be his daughter or granddaughter or something, and then instead of Newman, it's going to be somebody else that messes up the island.
Yeah.
And instead of this, you just fill in the. I've seen the other ones, but Star Wars, on the other hand, had me screaming like a little boy.
Nice.
Like I was 8 years old again, because it's fun, you know.
Right.
The whole trailer was fun, and that Millennium Falcon money shot is just fantastic in the desert with the TIE fighters.
Yeah. The TIE fighters skimming the water. That was pretty sweet too.
Well, those are the X-Wings.
X-Wings, excuse me, yes.
Which, by the way, I love the new Rebel costume, the red and the black. With the, oh my god, awesome.
The jaw thing on the helmet kind of looks like chops. It looked really cool.
Very cool.
And Oscar Isaac as a potential like captain leader of squad, very cool, because his performance in A Most Violent Year, if you haven't seen it, he's going to win the Oscar for best actor hands down. I mean, he's like Al Pacino, the new guy. He's coming up. I'm telling you, there's something up with Oscar Isaac.
Wait, who's this guy? Oscar Isaac?
Yeah, he's playing.
He's going to be the dude coming up soon.
Yeah, he's also playing Apocalypse in X-Men. The next X-Men.
Oh, that's what I saw recently. That's why the name sounds familiar.
Where did you see that? Where did you happen to see that, Jeff?
Fanboysinc.com.
That's
Head over there right now for news, articles, podcasts, and more. What the other thing I liked about the X-Wings, if you look at the actual wings, they are like the old wings. They sat one on top of the other, and then they would split apart.
Right.
These are actually kind of like two halves that fit together to form one large wing, which I think is cool.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, I like that.
They had the bendable parts that go like up or down depending on what you need to maneuver. I thought that was a really cool, really simple and elegant addition to the changes. The new Millennium Falcon radar dish on the back of it, I was like, what is that thing on the back of the Millennium Falcon?
Small rectangular shape. That's right. You know, that's just so Hasbro can re-release the old mold, charge another $100, and all they have to do is
snap on that.
They have to pay 78 cents for a new radar dish, sell it in the stores for another $100.
Well, yeah, sure. That end of it, of course.
All right,
Yeah, my
let's
money.
let's get into this.
But hang on a second. I got to get back to the. Wait, what are we getting into? Can we talk about the lightsaber?
That's what we're talking
Oh,
about.
thank God.
Jesus.
Oh, thank God.
How could I skip over that? The whole wow. Anyway, so if you haven't been watching or listening anything on the internet, TV, there seems to be a minor issue with supposedly Sith Lord at the end of the trailer with his tri-blade, whatever. I'll call it the broad saber sword. Initial looks before we get into the Sith hate. It's different right off the bat. It flickers like a flame somewhat. Some people think that maybe it was a handmade. It's a handmade one, so it's gonna not be as clean.
Like cosplay handmade.
Yeah, shoddy workmanship.
Shoddy workmanship. That's right.
Guy with things they don't understand.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy's a cosplayer from Dagobah or some shit.
Right. Tatooine.
Yeah.
So there's that. That's the first thing I noticed. It wasn't, oh my God, it was a cool design, which was cool. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
But then it started to flicker. Now
there's a crackle.
There's a crackle.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean this particular, it's an advancement that it isn't clean? Maybe it's stronger, more powerful laser. I'm not sure. And then as 30 minutes, we posted it on fanboysinc.com, and I'm just sitting here at 30 minutes after the trailer, and all of a sudden, doot, I'm getting notifications on my wall. And it's just bleh, everybody is just spewing hate over this, and I'm like,
collective nerd sound of spewing hate.
I'm waiting for more of, wow, that soccer ball droid that looks like crap, but all I'm getting is the lightsaber. Now I understand. Now I understand lightsaber is the traditional weapon of the Jedi, and it's very iconic to Star Wars. It's almost on every poster you see.
Yeah.
But it's all conjecture. You don't see anything. I mean, and as far as you and I had chatted the other night, and the first thing I thought of, cool, it's a broadsword. And then I'm thinking, oh, well, wouldn't a broadsword's got a wider blade? Okay, well, that wouldn't make sense as a lightsaber. Okay, that I understand why it's thin. And I'm like, all right, people are like, oh my God, you swing that around, you're gonna cut your hands off, you don't know how to use it. First and foremost, if you're trained, you're going to know how to use your sword. One, you're not going to pick it up and then cut your own hand off. Two, that type of sword is different than a saber, than a fencing sword. I don't know if we'll get that twirling effect. You don't use a broadsword, which has the hand guards, and they usually have little round balls on them, or they're circular at the end.
Right.
They don't, when they do move them around, like in the Highlander, it doesn't hit your wrist.
Right.
So I don't, right off the bat, I'm like, you guys are idiots. And I'm saying it. And Stephen Colbert, if you watched the video,
Which
we
is pretty
posted
funny.
Very funny. And he's a super nerd. He's justified.
I think it's cool that he has bragging rights of seeing Star Wars 2 weeks sooner than the rest of the universe.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome. But he gives us a little schematic, and he breaks it right down and calls people out. Now, I thought that was great. It wasn't offensive. He's like, this is what it is.
Right.
It's all conjecture at this point. People are saying, well, the lightsaber could hit the container of the tuum and cut your hand. Well, we've just found out today that Mandalorian armor, metal, is impervious to lightsabers.
I did not know
and
that.
that is a DYK that I will give you here, and it was in Marvel's
Jango
Wikipedia.
Fett should have armored up his neck bit there.
But it was in a Star Wars Wikipedia or Star Wars encyclopedia that Mandalorian metal is impervious to lightsaber blasts or the blades. So makes sense. Maybe it was developed out of that. Now this is all conjecture.
Right.
This isn't the first time they've changed the lightsaber.
Well, that's
Darth
the biggest
Maul.
thing too. Yeah, I mean, Darth Maul, for crying out loud. It was the double blade. Now, yeah, you can put two on top of each other. Blah,
and
blah,
it was
blah.
so.
What about the guy with 6 arms? The robot guy.
Yeah,
Nobody got upset with that.
Wait, what robot guy was?
You're talking about
in the prequels, Sidious or
General
whatever.
Grievous.
Yeah.
I mean, now those were all captured lightsabers from everybody else. They're just different colors.
Yeah, but it's like Spider Saber guy.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah, right.
And nobody bitched about that. But then I remember in episode 1 when I saw it, and I saw it connected. I'm like, this is cool, very oriental, very, staff, taekwondo kind of thing. And then when it gets cut, they give it back to the homage of the lightsabers, and now
Right.
he's wielding 2 lightsabers. I didn't hear anything. And now watching some threads going on Facebook, people are coming out saying, I complained about that one. A ton of people are saying that was the dumbest thing they ever did.
No kidding.
I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about.
And I'm sure we could go back through all of the novels, all of the video games, all of the comics that have been produced, and I'm sure we can find that this is, Darth Maul and then this new character are not the only variations of a lightsaber blade.
And we can see, what is it, Lord Dooku, his lightsaber, at least the container is curved.
Yeah, the hilt.
The hilt is curved. So
it's because he's so old, so there's a lilt to it.
A little lilt. And it was stated too by Michael Sackle, who's a good friend of ours. Said from Dark Horse and throughout all these pocket novels, there's been variations on this lightsaber.
Yeah.
And what gets me is when the sentence starts, I'm a Star Wars purist, and then it's bleh. Well, then you're not, because if you were, you'd know about the Dark Horse stuff. You'd know about these pocket novels that some of the great stories came out of.
And what does it mean to be a purist anyways?
Yeah, I mean, so it's like, I don't know. I'm like, all I can say is, you know what? Shut the hell up. Enjoy. Can't we just be fucking happy that we're getting a new Star Wars film?
The bottom line of what we really need to take away from all this, and I'm sure I'm probably guilty of nitpicking a little bit, but I mean, it's a visual thing more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are obviously, since this made that in the teaser trailer, the very first imagery that we're seeing of the Star Wars movie, Episode 7, like, it's a visual thing. It looks cool visually.
Right.
Like, all of a sudden, red blade, and then 2 little red blades pop, and I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty fucking badass.
And
truth be told, I was a little curious when I first saw it. I'm like, it's interesting. They pop out. I'm like, so what is the function of them? Like maybe, like when you see certain sword fights, occasionally a guy will punch the guy in the other, in the head with the hilt of his sword. So if you do that with a lightsaber, then you got a lightsaber in your cerebellum and you're dead. Or, the other thing too, I'm like, is it like excess energy from the
I kind of thought that it was like
of the lightsaber?
Like kind of like an exhaust trail kind of thing.
So who knows? Stay tuned, but really just enjoy it for the cool visual that it is.
And that's what Josh, and I asked Josh Bodwell. I mean, he's our biggest Star Wars fan that I know of, besides yourself, and talking with him. And, he's like, can't we just enjoy the film? Yeah. And people are getting technical. He's like, I think this is great. I think this lightsaber is amazing. I think it's a cool design.
Yeah.
Why don't we just remember we're 8 years old and just enjoy the film? And, the other thing is, people are doing, like I tried to explain on what Steve Colbert was doing, was trying to explain it. You're trying to explain a real life sword that has no energy and making it work in the real world. This is Star Wars. So if you're going to explain the workings, that it's not real, that it would never work in the real world, well, then you explain the Force. You explain when a spaceship can go into Earth or a planet's atmosphere without burning up. You explain all these
there's no gravity in space, and yet everybody's walking around the Millennium Falcon.
Well, they have anti-gravity.
Duh. I thought it was magnetic boots.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
and I think what you said the other night.
Suspension of disbelief. That's
what you said the other night. You're like, wow, I'm getting too serious about this. And you said this the other night when we were chatting. He's like, you even probably step back and are like, shit, I need to just relax. I'm getting really hyped about this. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're starting to spew fanboy rage, or now I'm just calling it Sith, all fans are Sith because there's so much hate, that then there's no time for it. I mean, and then people are like, oh, well, that just because, what was the comment I heard or read? Oh, if the outcome of this movie is as bad as this lightsaber, then we're all in deep shit. So you're going to base the entire movie because of this design. And then, people are saying, oh, there was no thought put into this. They didn't think out this design well enough. Oh, I forgot. They used a 5-year-old kid with a crayon to design this. These guys get paid big bucks. There's a reason why it's there. And I think we'll finally, when we see it, I think, and that might be why it's in there. It's a cool looking scene. Yeah. It's coming through the woods. It's a cool looking design. But there's going to be a reason why they're there. It's going to be answered. And every one of you nerf herders or whatever didn't like it. You're going to be like, oh,
You think it will be answered?
I think so. I
And
don't.
again-
I don't
again,
think it's a
it
cosmetic
could
look.
just be just a cool visual, but who knows? I mean, we really know so little about this movie.
But we
really
know,
don't know.
they don't always just throw things in there just to throw in there. There's certain things like that's an iconic symbol. I would think that if they're going to show it in that teaser, the first teaser, they're going to do something about it. It's not going to be like, okay, we didn't address it.
So wait a second. Is that to say that the soccer ball droid is going to be like a major character?
I think he's going to be more than the trailer. If the girl on the speeder
Right.
is in the trailer, it's going to be maybe she's going to date. Maybe it's a female It's female R2. Maybe it's going to date R2D2.
R2's not a guy. Nobody ever said R2 was a dude.
He's with it.
R2D2 is definitely a guy.
He's a dude. He's a dude.
guy.
He's a dude.
He's always
We're turning gender roles now.
Yes.
Star Wars conversation now.
Well, wait a minute. Hold
Android.
on, and I'll let you talk about the blade for a second there, Sains. But R2D2 is blue and white. This one's kind of pinkish and white. Pink is girly, blue is boy. I got it down. I think that's what it is.
Hey, let me little sidebar. Speaking of Josh Bodwell, speaking about the girl on the speeder bike, go over to rebelscum.com. A number of artists everybody's been coming out of the woodwork and doing all sorts of illustrations,
posters.
Phil Noto is one of them.
Francisco Francovilla.
Yeah, and Josh Bodwell. I saw his. He did the girl on the speeder the other day.
He just did another one with the side profile of the Black Trooper and the helmet.
Okay,
and that came out really cool.
By the way, I feel we haven't even talked about the damn stormtroopers on jump ship on the ship there.
Yeah. We saw those. But we saw those.
Very cool.
Yeah, we saw those helmets a while back, but that was pretty cool.
But I liked actually seeing that. I mean, all of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, that's right. We're in Star Wars. There's a stormtrooper, helmets, weaponry. Awesome.
Mr. Independent Jones, 5 minutes. Go on the blade.
Do I have 5 minutes on the blade? I don't even know.
Now you have 3 minutes.
You got 2 minutes.
Johnny on the spot with it. Jesus, God in heaven. Hi, I'm Mike Sains, and I'd just like to have a conversation about this sword. I do think it looks pretty cool, you guys. But I'll just pull like a paraphrase quote from Grant Morrison. If you put a book in front of an 8-year-old child, they focus on what they like. And when you put it in front of an adult, all they want to do is nitpick it. And it's the same exact story. Why can't we just enjoy the goddamn story and then deal with the details once it's over?
Yeah, but when you have information.
That I think...
Because right now we have no story, so all we're left with is just to nitpick the details.
Right, but also the movies that came before this for J.J. Abrams, all he does is tease stuff. Remember Cloverfield and like the clone websites you had to go to click this, to get the bonus information? He's the master of getting people stirred up like this and leading them down a certain trail and then pulling it out and going, ha-ha, you idiots. Right. Why did you waste your time doing this? You guys got so stirred up. Everybody's so like, it's like, we can't just have an opinion anymore. There's got to be this dividing line. And like the Stormtrooper, I don't even think John Boyega is a Stormtrooper in the trailer. I think it's just a thing, just like in the other movies like they've done before with Luke and Han. So it doesn't even have to be like a race thing. So why can't we just enjoy it? Yeah. It's actually kind of frustrating. And it's like, I think these two particular issues have shown a lot about like, the state of the nerd community and the weight that the reaction of the community holds even. It's like, why are we allowing this to even happen? Is this all by design, perhaps? Like, maybe they're trying to get everyone like this, and it's just, when it's really good, everybody's just going to throw their whole wallet at everyone, ID and all.
I think that's pretty much a guarantee anyways.
Yeah, I agree. But
that's the plan.
But stuff like this, I mean, just re-emphasizes why I call it Fanboys Inc., putting fan back into fanboy. This is just like really some serious, really bad, there's no even, and I would say, when we say fanboy hate is the fact that, you're coming at someone without any information, without any, background.
And these really strong opinions.
And I don't have a problem with strong opinions, but when you start bullying people and saying, like on some threads, you try to stand up for yourself, and then now you're just a fucking idiot. Shut the fuck up.
That's just the facelessness of the internet. It
True,
gives
I agree.
Everybody that normally wouldn't have the courage to speak their mind.
Why I say bullying.
Right.
And I'm like, it doesn't make our community look any better when shit like this happens.
I know. Yeah, it's actually like it actually felt retro. You know what I mean? Like everything about the trailer, including the reaction of the fans, felt retro.
Yeah. Now you like the Darth Maul? Wait a minute, retro.
Do you mean like late 90s retro episode 1?
No, I'm talking like 70s. Like the community took a long step back. He's black. Why is he black? Oh my god! It's like, really, guys? Are we really leading with the color of his
I
skin?
know.
Oh my God!
Especially in the wake of the Ferguson verdict and the riots and the looting.
There you go. There it is.
And these are the
Said
same.
it now.
And these are the same people to be like, well, how come superhero movies aren't as diverse as they should be?
Yeah,
Shut
you.
the
Thank
fuck
you.
up.
And then Steph John Stevens released a bunch of fan art last night. He does a comic on Image Comics, and he did a concept art of the Flash, and it was like a sexy pinup of the Flash, and everybody's like, "Oh my God! If this was a woman, everybody be freaking out."
It's true though. It's true though. It's true.
No.
It's almost to the point where there's more negativity and more negative comments than praise.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's a whole industry.
And that's like in anything in life. People seem to remember the bad things or the negative things over the good things. Like if you get complimented 100 times, you're gonna remember the one fucking time somebody talked negative about something you did, and you'll forget half of the good compliments. And that unfortunately is the way our society has been built upon, and it kind of sucks. But all I gotta say is, I'm excited for it. It's Fanboy Inc. approved. So is that damn lightsaber. If you have something to say about it and you want to give me some hate mail, tweet me over at Fanboys Inc. or hit us up at facebook.com/Fanboys Inc. Tell us what you think. We are live tweeting. So if you have any questions for myself, Nub, or Mr. Sains, tweet us at Fanboys Inc.
I am excited for some new Star Wars toys, though.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I will definitely be getting the Rebel Pilot action figure if he's super articulated.
And for all you Star Wars fans, as we've stated before, we are sponsored by audible.com. Over 150,000 titles to choose upon. Choose upon. That's good. Choose upon, sir. Over 150,000 titles to choose from. You can listen on your tablet, your phone, your PC, you're in your car, wherever you are. They have over 250 titles of Star Wars stories. Some awesome stories that have happened after episodes 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you won't have to worry about seeing what a lightsaber looks like in an Audible book. You'll just be able to hear the sound and enjoy the book like everybody else, and like we should at this movie. And right now, if you go over to audibletrial.com/IncCast, you get 30 free days and credit for 1 free book. So go over there and check that out. Check out a Star Wars title. Check out a Doctor Who title. There's even some Marvel movies, DC stuff over there. Some great history documentaries. Very cool. So go over to audibletrial.com/IncCast to get your 30-day free trial and 1 credit for 1 free book. Let's shift gears. We could talk for weeks about Star Wars,
and we will.
I'm sure we. Unfortunately, at some point we will. I shouldn't say unfortunately.
Right.
But it's always about the giving the haters more hate. But let's switch over a little bit more of the comic book movie buzz. A Thor 2 actor doesn't want to be in Marvel movies anymore.
Ooh,
Idris Elba.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I thought he wanted to. But I like him.
Yeah.
Heimdall.
Yes, Heimdall.
Throwing it down.
Okay, here we go from
Like Heimdall's eyes,
yes.
he does not want to be an actor in the Marvel movies anymore.
From Movie Pilot. This is a article that I found a day ago. Is it Elba? Yeah. Elba speaking to Telegraph last month.
Albus Dumbledore.
Elba spoke about the transition from playing Nelson Mandela in Mandela: A Long Walk to Freedom to returning to the Marvel Universe as Heimdall. Now, obviously, you're going from a very, very true life iconic character who held a lot of weight in the world, coming back to a fictional movie. Obviously, still a very popular character, but nothing doesn't hold the candle to Mandela. This is a quote from Elba. It was really weird. I just done 8 months in South Africa. I came to England, and one day I'm back. I had to do reshoots on Thor 2. In an actual scene, my hair was different. And my what do you say? My hair was different. Aspirated sigh, he said. I was like, this is torture, man. I don't want to do this. My agent says, well, you have to. It's part of the deal. Now, reading that part of it is like, oh, please. You're worried about your hair to get. That's what they make makeup for. Now you're sounding kind of like a prima donna actor. He goes on further, going, I'm actually falling down from a spaceship. So they put me in a harness in a green screen studio. In between takes, I was stuck there, fake hair stuck onto my head with glue, this fucking helmet, while they reset. I'm thinking 24 hours ago, I was Mandela. When I walked into the set of the extras they called me Madiba. I was literally walking in the man's boots. Within 6 months, the crew, we were all so in love with this film we had made. I was him. I was Mandela practically. There I was in a stupid harness with this wig and a sword and these contact lenses. It ripped my heart out.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
you know,
sounds- from what you're saying, that sounds a little pretentious.
and then he's it's not meant to
Wow.
he's not meant to talk about this, but he clearly enjoys things he's not meant to do. Now that he's not supposed to say anything, he's speaking out on this. As far as the article is concerned, as father goes, the writer writes, which really makes it seem like Elba has no interest whatsoever in being part of the MCU, especially as in the same interview, he totally spoiled the fact that he and Tom Hiddleston's Loki would be appearing in Avengers: Age of Ultron. So he's spilling stuff that he's not supposed to.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So he's like the petulant child, you know, the spoiled child almost. I mean, that's what that sounds like.
Does.
Like, well, I don't want to do it.
You know, and I guess the transition from such an, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's gonna be an amazing movie. I mean, Mandela, I mean, that's a lot. Those are some big shoes to fill.
Did you see it?
I haven't.
Me neither.
I do
Mike,
want to
have
see
you
it.
seen
I
it,
do
pal?
want to see it.
No, I mean, let's be honest. The performance might have been great, but that was definitely one of those. Why is it in the category of Oscar nominees when
Right.
everybody else has like these really good movies?
Right.
Like everybody said it was a C+ at best.
Really.
Oh, really?
But
Yeah.
just portraying that person is some big shoes. Now,
Yeah, that's got to be like a crazy thing. Like to go from such a that would be like if you were Daniel Day-Lewis and you were like playing Lincoln, and they're like, all right, now go be Forge in the X-Men.
yeah,
Wait,
right.
Can he be? Is that confirmed
Yeah.
here?
Shush, because he keeps saying that. Somebody will say they just confirmed on Fanboys.
Did you wait a second?
We're
did you
not
guys just
Latino
hear-
review.
Did you guys just hear that Daniel Day-Lewis is confirmed to play Forge in the next motherfucking X-Men movie?
No, I think you only
Get
heard
out
that.
of there, guys.
I think you only heard that.
Forge is a personal favorite of mine.
Once again, too, if you're just joining us, we're live here at Walker Design Studios, official home for Fanboys Incorporated. We're live tweeting. Tweet us at Fanboys Inc. if you have any questions or any comments. Some more media news, some shows. Last night, part 1 of Flash vs. Arrow on the CW.
Yeah.
I did not see it, so I'm going to hold off, but I did see some clips. I tried to stay away from the whole episode because I was preoccupied with work, but we got our first look of Firestorm.
Oh yeah. Now, do we actually see like
Yes.
Firestorm with
Yes.
his powers?
Well,
Oh,
or,
yeah.
we just met
Well,
the guy?
Joe, if you went over to fanboysinc.com, we actually had
Let me do that.
article and pictures of him in all his flaming glory.
Cool.
He does not have a suit.
Okay.
It's kind of like the trench coat, Ronnie Raymond.
What do you mean the trend? Like
He's
is that-
he's just wearing a trench coat. His hands are going flaming, and his
flaming.
head is. All I can remember.
Well, and
All I
actually
can
it
remember
looked
is the
like,
girl in Ghost Rider 2 or Ghost Rider where the newscaster's like, so what that in the goth girl. So what do you look like? Well, he was kind of like with his hair going. That's how I felt. I was,
It's
but
kind of like that.
yeah, it's kind of like that. But he doesn't have a costume. It is led to believe that he will not be in part 2 of Arrow, which is tonight, but later next week, as the way the story led up, that possibly him and some of his friends or other people, how they were affected by that night and how they got their powers.
So Firestorm got his powers from.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank God!
Well, that's what we-
finally. A
did you watch?
superhero-
Have you watched?
No, I've
Oh.
been watching Flash. I have not been watching
okay.
Arrow
We already know that it was from the particle accelerator because he went
Good.
in and sacrificed himself.
because I'm sick and tired. And I mentioned this before. Like I'm sick and tired how all the Flash villains are like nearly everyone who's been affected except for the Flash has been a bad guy. Like, oh my God, like really?
Right.
Like it only affects the scumbags in Key City.
Well, you gotta
right?
lead. You gotta lead up to the tragedy and the coolness. I mean, you can't have another hero if there's no villains.
Now I did watch the Flash. I think I'm still an episode behind just because I watched the shit on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
But the one where you know the police, his cop friend, the
Yeah.
guy who raised him, he's like investigating the murder,
Yeah.
and then like Professor Zoom shows up.
Yes,
And
in
you
his
see-
house. Yeah,
that was good.
That was pretty cool.
That was good.
So yeah, I like the look. We're not sure. Maybe will he get his suit or his costume from the professor? that's helping Barry Allen? And and I didn't see the show, and Mike say yes or no. Do we know if there's another conscience within his brain, like the traditional Firestorm?
With Ronnie Raymond and the professor.
No, you just see him under a bridge. He kind of has a little teaser at the end.
Okay, so we don't even know.
He hangs out with some guys.
So we don't know if he's connected.
It actually is kind of like that. Yeah.
So we don't know if he's connected. Now, what kind of makes sense? Wouldn't it be cool if he was connected to the professor? That is helping. Ronnie
in the Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely think they're alluding to that.
Okay.
That the professor or the guy in the wheelchair is very heavily connected to Ronnie and why he's a bad guy in the first place.
Okay.
Because it was really jarring to see like the female character who's married to him like adore him, and then all of a sudden they cut under the bridge and he's had like some mental snap like Harvey Dent style like with Two-Face, and he's like, yeah, it's time to throw fire at people under a bridge.
Now,
so maybe he's the head, like maybe he's the second person.
And
like,
that's
in the classic comics, it was like Ronnie Raymond
and the floating head.
But that's not the new, because this one is based on the new version of Firestorm.
We don't
the black guy.
Yeah,
right?
the Ronnie. Yeah, I guess.
Is it?
Yeah.
What color was this guy on the show?
If anything, he was mixed because he actually reminded me a lot of the guy who plays Captain Cold from Prison Break.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So I think it's like one of those situations where it's going to be hard to tie down, and maybe like, black and Spanish, white and Spanish. It's hard to tell, but definitely a big build. He looked cool on screen. And I think when they did the reveal, when he used his powers, I think his clothes and everything around him actually burns up because it looked like the clothes were like smoking.
Are we gonna? So we're gonna do the Johnny Storm look.
I don't know.
I hope not.
He was totally engulfed in flames, and then it was like, when it went out of his body, it was like the whole ground, like he was able to control the fire almost like liquid. So
cool.
It looked pretty cool, actually.
That's cool. Well, he is an Amel, so he is Stephen Amel's brother. He's Arrow's brother.
And the fact that we're talking about this guy rather than the bad guy from last night. I mean, like the bad guy was so
don't tell
much. Me. It's just a plot point, really. I mean, that's about it. But Firestorm, everything was leading up to that one little moment.
Right.
But I thought the crossover itself was really good.
Good. I'm gonna watch it after the pod. I'm gonna watch it after. I gotta catch up on some stuff. I'll probably miss tonight's Arrow too because I gotta do some work, and I'll watch that tomorrow.
Word. What other shows have been going on?
Constantine,
Dead, of course, but Constantine
Walking Dead
good.
Finished their mid-season.
Arrow, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Arrow's on tonight. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was last night. Constantine again. I tell you what,
the show
I tell you what, if an online petition is going to succeed, I hope it's this one. These fans, finally something positive out of the fanboy community. That
was really cool.
Yeah, they're really, really fighting for this. There's a fan-made movie and supporting of Constantine. I wish there was more of this than the fanboy rage that we constantly see all the time. But they're really trying hard to keep this show going. The rumors to the point now is it's 13 episodes. Season 2 is still not out of the running, which leads me to believe that they've already filmed some of this. And maybe, a few weeks ago, people were saying, we saw the marathon, 5 episodes on Sci-Fi. And we're all like, oh my God, it's done. It's canceled. Remember, people, Sci-Fi is part of NBC. So if they're trying to possibly air it on another time slot, if it fits for Sci-Fi, then pull it off NBC and throw it on Sci-Fi.
Right.
I think it'd be a great Saturday. It doesn't have to be necessarily the Sci-Fi cable channel. It doesn't necessarily have to be a 9 o'clock primetime spot. You're already working with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. How are you going to compete with that? Put it on Saturdays. It's a Saturday night.
Doesn't Doctor Who abide by that same exact principle?
Pretty much.
We're not going to treat this like a big thing.
Yeah,
we're just going to release it.
Yeah, but Doctor Who kind of he sort of works outside of all, he's not really on Saturday nights. He's on whenever he wants to.
Are you trying to
I'm trying to shoehorn some sort of time travel. But no, wait, but DW, you're saying that put Constantine on a Saturday night on the Sci-Fi channel, but isn't most of the flack that I've been hearing is who sits home and watches TV on Friday nights?
But that general graphic, I'm not saying 10 o'clock. I'm saying 8 o'clock. And at the same time.
Yeah, but even still, who sits at home and watches TV on Saturday night? That's when people go
I don't know. The Sci-Fi's doing very well. It's not a 4 o'clock in the afternoon show. I think you're going to get more people tuning in 8 to 9 o'clock on Sci-Fi than you would on NBC. It's not, I don't know. It just seems like the demographic for that network, for NBC, isn't necessarily the same demographic that would stay home and watch 8 o'clock on a Saturday on a sci-fi.
Right.
So I think that might be, maybe it's a test run. Whatever. I mean, I don't think it's the end.
Now you've been watching the show.
I love it.
Mike
Every
Sains,
week.
you've been watching the show, right, pal?
Yeah, I think it's mixed reviews per episode, but overall the series is quite good. I mean,
were you an original reader of the Hellblazer comic? Were you?
No, and I think that was good for me because I didn't have this like vision of John Constantine before.
Yep.
I mean, the only vision I did have is Keanu Reeves as John Constantine. So this was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is so good.
So I think
especially the pilot was really put together really well. The tone was established. Then that second episode was like, oh, what happened? You had it going there for a second.
You know, it's funny. I actually like the second episode. That was with the Pennsylvania coal miners, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I actually
the knocking noise.
Yeah, I like that one almost like better than the first one.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Well, I think that says a lot about the fans who have picked up on this show. And I've noticed, I can't help but notice, but a lot of the fans who watch like geekier shows or more serious shows on NBC Friday night, that time slot, they take their shows very seriously. Grimm, Hannibal,
Grimm's getting canceled.
You know, well, is Grimm been canceled?
Yeah, Grimm's on the chopping block after this season.
Oh no.
Well, it's been on for a long time.
I think it was confirmed that this is the last season. It's it.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure it's one of those shows where they knew that, like, they were given the courtesy of knowing that this is going to be their last one, so they're probably going to go out like the way a show's supposed to go out, rather than a canceled death.
Right.
Like,
with an actual ending.
Right. R.I.P. Deadwood.
That hurts. It hurts us all, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
I hope it stays on. I know that he's also expressed his interest. Do you remember the actor's name right off the top of your head, Mike?
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan, yes. He's expressed he wants part movie. That's
that would be
the script. The script is handed in. It's a go. So
yeah. Well, you know what, Mike? You said it too, where you don't read You didn't read Hellblazer. I think all three of us.
I haven't, but I'm going to buy.
I never did, but it's like Hellblazer and John Constantine were one of those comics and characters I was always aware of. I always knew there was that. There was always been. Like everybody always loved the series. Like reading Wizard magazines back in the 90s, Wizard always talked about how great the series was, and I never read it. And so
I'm going to pick up a couple.
And a lot of people that I've talked to like never actually read it, but the same thing. Like everybody knows about it. But we've never actually taken the time to check it out.
It's an unsaid thing.
It's a lot like a lot of the books that come out of the 90s. I mean, everybody knew about Hellboy, but how many people really know the lore?
Right.
Everybody knew about Watchmen, but how many people really knew that book front to back? Or even knew to be upset with the edits that were made in the film later on even?
Right.
I'm one of those people, unfortunately, and I knew the butchery that Zack Snyder committed on my beloved Watchmen. But, I think this is one of those rare cases where I don't have a predisposed opinion going into it. And it's like, I actually like the guy who's playing Constantine.
I think he does
I like the guy who constantly gets killed.
Oh, Kaz.
But that's a really cool gimmick, and I think the guy's really likable.
Well, he is, but he's so funny because he just reminds you, like, even his, like, the size and shape of his hair is just like, you look like that sidekick character from an 80s TV show, like a sitcom TV
BJ
show.
and the Bear.
I've been saying he looks like the roadie for the 70s rock band.
He really does.
Whatever.
He really does.
But he's got. There's more to him. Did you watch last week's episode?
Yes, I did.
Okay. There's more to him.
With the children.
There's more to him than meets the eye.
Oh yeah. That's right, yeah.
I think he's got more control over Constantine than Constantine. I don't think he's his sidekick. There's something going on with them.
They're partners. They're partners.
But
where
Constantine does not treat him as a partner, and has even pretty much said he's his sidekick.
Where was Zed last week, by the way?
She, where did they say she was set somewhere? They did say where she was.
Yeah, that's a good question.
They did say where she was. Oh, she was in art class.
Okay.
She was in art school. She was going to school.
I was
That's what they said.
Because, the show is still pretty new and maybe they're making... I'm like, I hope they didn't just write her off the show without
I don't think so.
Oh, my God.
She was in art class.
They're really good with Constantine. Like, there are a bunch of problems that everybody kind of knew about the show. Like, the first companion quit, and then she was replaced by Zed. And the way that show has bounced from those problems, they just brush over it real quick, and they're like, all right, come on, let's keep going with the trip. Let's keep it moving. We don't want to deal with these.
Don't dwell on it. Don't look at it too long.
I thought it was a nice transition when the woman in the pilot, why she left, but it was a nice write-in. They got somebody else. It's not the same character.
Right.
So I like that little transition. She left the map with all the blood. Now here's your first season. Now this is what you got to do.
Well,
I'm out. So that's feasible for me.
Because there's nothing worse than replacing an actor or actress
with the same character.
Oh God! Like when they did it with the mother on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, who do you think you're kidding? What are you doing to me over here?
April O'Neil and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too.
Oh my God! Forget like.
But
what
can we say that about
pulling on us?
But we don't seem to get upset about when they do that to Batman.
Well, that's different because
he's
that's
more of a James Bond kind of guy.
Well, exactly.
Well, nobody gets upset about that either, but it's still James Bond
thing. I don't mind them. You know, that's
that was the Fresh Prince's mom thing.
No, get the fuck out of here.
That's a stretch.
Get out of here. It's the me and Mike show from now on.
Fuck you. Yeah, learn how to operate this, and it's all yours.
No, you're staying here and you're running the boards.
Bullshit.
We're talking.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Fucking that's the Fresh Prince mom thing. What a horse's patoot.
And who wasted their time watching the Fresh Prince anyway?
I don't know. But I think
I did.
I think if we were pressed, all three of us
I can do the Carlton. You want me to do the Carlton?
I think we could all bust out the theme song right now.
I can do the dance.
But we're not going to. You're welcome, fans.
But yeah, I'm enjoying the show. And I hope it gets another season. I'd love to see merging of the universes. We'll see what happens. You know, Stephen Amell has said a few words.
Yeah. Arrow said he wants to show up in Constantine. He wants to go over and team up with Gotham.
He wants to team up with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, that's stupid.
This agent has to be like, what the fuck are you doing to me, dude?
It doesn't matter. You know what he's doing? He's going to be making his agent a shit ton of money because Steven doesn't give a shit. And Steven's going to be as good at what he does. He knows
he's going to show up and he's going to be like, I heard Jeremy Renner doesn't want the job anymore. And
I have training. And I've always been better than Hawkeye.
Yeah, exactly.
Stephen Amell's going to go places. You know, he's very outspoken, but he knows when to stop. You know, he doesn't keep it going. He says just enough where you're like, oh shit, he's going to go. He's done. Now leave it all to you.
So it's like tantric. Oh my God. Oh, he stopped. Oh,
we're going for another hour.
Exhausted.
He leaves it all to us, the fans, to take it even further. He gives you just enough where, he might get in trouble with an agent, whatever.
All right, so it sounds
he's outspoken about the Flash.
Before,
no, he's been outspoken about the Flash and what they did to Grant Gustin and got the new Flash for the big screen. Grant is the Flash.
Oh, so wait, he's saying that's BS that you got this guy. Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And he even said, he goes, I don't care about being in the movie. I do an hour movie. I do what, 13-hour movies a year?
It's 23.
Yeah, 23-hour movies a year. I don't need to be in a big movie.
Doesn't the Flash do that as well?
Yeah, but it's saying that, well, they don't have an Arrow actor on the big screen. That's what the whole big difference is. They have a new Flash on the big screen.
Yeah, they didn't do the Green Arrow the same way they did
he wasn't speaking up for Grant, saying, hey, me and Grant should go together. He doesn't care.
So maybe
it would be cool.
Maybe that's politics. Maybe
it could be.
Just politicking.
It could be. But when you start speaking out to the people who feed you, you're biting the hand that feeds you.
Right.
But he knows how to do it well. You get it stirred up just enough and drop Mike. Drop Mike and you're out.
He doesn't bite the hand. He just nibbles.
He just nibbles. He licks it.
I think the guy's got a lot of potential.
I do too.
Once Arrow's over, and this is like just a theory of my own, but America really likes short action heroes. Like, just look at Tom Cruise, very, very short man.
He is. Yeah.
He is like perfect to take Tom Cruise's place. He's like this tiny little.
As long as he doesn't jump up and down on couches, I think we're all right.
Yeah, right. But I really like him, and he gets how to speak to the community without stirring everybody up, and it's more like a dialogue.
And
he's a really short guy too.
He's probably maybe my height.
Yeah, if you watch the
5'7"
first season of Arrow, they really struggle to frame him to look tall.
Yeah.
Like, you can definitely tell.
Because you're looking at Ben Affleck that's 6'something. Henry Cavill is 6'something. I mean, so, 5'7" is average height.
They make it work for everybody else. I mean,
that's why
magic.
Do you think that's why they hired the guy to play Arsenal? Because he's shorter than him.
Dude, that's a really good point. And if you look at the Flash Green Arrow crossover, Flash is like, they try to make him look shorter than the Green Arrow. It's like, come on, Barry's taller.
Yeah, Barry's definitely taller. So it's serious. I tell you what, the shows are getting better and better. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm still on the fence. I just can't get into it.
There's just not that one episode where you're like, finally,
yeah. I mean,
I like, you know what though? I like what they are doing with Agent Ward. You know, he's because honestly, I really hated him in the first season.
I'm wondering. The only thing I wonder about him if he's the double agent.
No, but
yeah, Jason's been hitting at that. The reviewer for Fanboys Inc. If you go and read Jason's reviews on fanboysinc.com right now, he's been hinting that Ward is the key to this whole season.
Yeah, but you know what? I will say, you know, because I think there was even a question posed by maybe Comic Book Resources or Newsarama.com. They were saying, do you think he is a good guy or a good bad guy? And I'm like, I see him as the good bad guy. He's trying to do the stuff, but he's so deluded, you know, it's all for quote unquote Sky's love and affection that he's like, you know, framed his own brother for killing and murdering his family.
His brother anyway, though.
Well, I get that too, you know, and obviously from what they show of his character and his motives, he is a severely messed up and damaged individual. And for everything that Bill Paxton's character did to him in the first season. But yeah, I just think I like him better as the loose cannon nut job that he is, you know, and if through, you know, trying to double cross and triple cross people, I think honestly his character would best be his character. Like, you got to kill him off in this season, have him, or you got to turn him into like a major supervillain by the third season if you're going to keep him around. But like, have it be like he does this sacrificial death, like somewhere. Like, if you're going to keep him around, and keep him around, give him superpowers or some shit. If you're going to kill him off, it's got to be like saving Sky or Coulson or something like that. But yeah, he's nasty. I mean, he's turned into a badass, and that's cool.
Okay.
And that's
thank you. That's thank you for the commentary there from Mr.
Nailed
Jones.
it.
Nailed it. Yeah, nailed it.
But am I the only person that likes Shields? Yeah, boy. I think so.
I think so.
I know.
Yeah. All right, let's move. I guess it is the Mike Sains and DW show. Have a nice day, Nubbler. Hey,
I'm going to go hang out with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's mother.
You can go hang out with Sean Murphy. He likes shit.
Yeah, I know. Sean Murphy likes it. But what else did we see?
Comic Head doesn't even like it. I was like, holy crap.
There was what is it, the recent cover tease for the Inhumans comic? Or there was a promotional image?
It's an anniversary year of
and they're
Inhumans.
trying to tie the Inhumans with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Sky, and Michael, what's the guy's name? From Twin Peaks. He played Ray Manzarek in the Doors movie.
McLaughlin.
Kyle MacLachlan, thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens with those characters.
Lamplighters in, got cherry pie.
Maybe I will finally give a maybe I'll finally give a shit about Sky's character.
Never mind. I'm not going to turn this into Bathroom Comic-Con. But anyway, as we gracefully move on from TV, let's get into some. We were just talking. Let's get into Joe's toy box. That was pretty graceful. I thought. I didn't say, hey, you know, I wanted to go wow, chicka wow wow.
Joe's toy box. What do we got, pal?
I don't know. Why are you asking me? It's your toy box.
There are lots of toys out there during the holiday season. It's up to us to go out and find some of them.
And you purchase half of them.
I do purchase. Sitting on the table with us right now is a
nice
Target exclusive Marvel Legends Infinite Series. This is
you shouldn't have.
I didn't.
Oh.
Womp womp. Anyways,
a week early for my birthday. This is awesome.
Target exclusive 3-pack. You have Miss Marvel, Captain America, and Radioactive Man.
You got Captain America with 2 faces. You got you got your O face and your Captain America face.
There's no O face. There's no O on Steve Rogers' face. Steve Rogers doesn't make an O face. First of all,
very concentrated O face.
Stern and concentrated the entire time. No, but seriously, this 3-pack, it's hitting Target shelves, or at least it did 2 weeks ago. And I got to say, at our local Target DW, they are sold out. You
bought the last one?
No, I bought the first one.
How much?
$50, which is a good deal. You get 3
$20
figures
a piece, right?
They normally go for $20 pop. The nice thing about this, you get a Miss Marvel action figure, Carol Danvers in her Miss Marvel Warbird outfit. The nice thing about that, the last time we got a Miss Marvel action figure in 6-inch scale was the 2006 Walmart exclusive Toy Biz Marvel Legends wave. So that is nice to see her again. And she has a new body sculpt there. The costume is awesome. Captain America, he is a repack of the 2013 Marvel Legend Captain America figure, but still an awesome figure. So if you don't have one, it's great to get this one. And my personal favorite of this 3-pack is the Radioactive Man action figure. We first saw this guy at San Diego, I think like last summer or like 2 summers ago, something like that. where they showed him, Blizzard, Batroc, and I think there was another major, or not major, I'm sorry, but another Avengers villain in there as well. They were all supposed to be part of this Marvel Legends wave with a Jubilee Build-A-Figure. Then they decided Hasbro decided to nix the wave. They put the Jubilee Build-A-Figure with the X-Men wave that hit Toys R Us this past summer. And so all of a sudden we have these Avengers villains. We're like, well, what's going to happen with Batroc? When are we going to see the Blizzard? Like, when are we going to see Radioactive Man? So it's nice to see Hasbro getting figures like this out to the public. Like, for me, even when I was collecting Toy Biz figures back in the 90s, there was so much X-Men Toy Biz figures out there that I always felt it was lacking as far as like the Avengers. I mean, sure, there was an Iron Man line, but it's nice to see some Avengers villains in your 6-inch display. So that's nice that the Radioactive Man makes it out. $50 at Target. I think they are sold out, or at least they're selling out of stores. Go check out Target.com. The other one that sold out recently as well, the Star Wars Black Series 6-inch Imperial Shadow Squadron 2-pack with a black-clad Biker Scout and Speeder Bike, as well as a Sand Trooper. So those have been selling out as well. And I mean, who does not want a cool kick-ass army building Shadow Squadron 2-pack? What else do we have as far as toy stuff? Comic shops across the nation. DC Collectibles, Batman and Catwoman, the animated series. Super articulated action figures have been hitting these stores. It's nice, man. If you ever love the Batman animated series, go and check some of those figures out. They're freaking awesome. What else we have? Speaking of Batman, NECA 7-inch Michael Keaton Batman will be showing up at Toys R Us's across the country in celebration of the 25th anniversary of Tim Burton's Batman, which came out many, many years ago. Masterpiece Prowl Transformers news. It was on sale at ToysRUs.com this past week. It was down from $60. It went down to $37, a random price, but hey, that's a random sale and that's a randomly great price. But I guess, you missed the sale now. But the point is, during the holiday season, check out your .coms, ToysRUs.com, Walmart.com, HasbroToyShop.com, Target.com, because you never know what kind of sales you're going to be getting.
You can go over to MikeSains.com too, right?
What does he have for sale?
What do you have for sale, Mr. Sains?
Right now, my eBay page is kind of down, but I am about to unleash a wave of Funko Pops for sale on the public that they will probably really enjoy.
How, are they very popular?
Vinyl records as well.
Are they popular? Cool. The Funko's really popular?
Hugely popular this year. I mean, the Dancing Baby Groot alone is going to be a huge thing.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That looks pretty cool. I have one. I have a Green Lantern.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. And if it's the first one before the new 52 one, that is a very sought after item. The DC heroes and villains are major gets.
You can DM me at facebook.com/fanboys inc and ask how much you want for that. Not you, anybody. Also, it's my birthday, so you can ship items to 106 Bay Street, Glens Falls, New York, 12801, as my birthday is next week.
Nice.
But anyway, toys, let's get into some comics. Comic book news. We got a new Batman title in the works. The new dynamic duo, the writer and writer, some of the best writers out there. Now, we know since they've been relaunching titles over at DC, there's been one title that hasn't been talked about a lot, and that was Frank Miller's Dark Knight. Now, we know that Frank Miller did Dark Knight Strikes Again, or DK2, by Frank Miller and Klaus Janson. Well, guess what? DK3 is coming our way, brought to you by Frank Miller and Scott Snyder.
Really?
Yes. Now,
how do we feel about this? Is this going to be Godfather 3?
I'll tell you. Is this
going to be Jurassic World?
No, this is not Jurassic World, because we actually get the premise of what's going on here. The story, I'm told, would concern Carrie Kelly, the Robin of Dark Knight. Now in her elder years, she is now in a similar position to that of Bruce Wayne in the original Dark Knight series, and she is seeking her own successor to protect Gotham. So we don't know if Bruce Wayne is dead yet. Could this be more like a Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond? We do know that Mr. Miller is not doing well So he is not taking up the artistic chores for this. But
so he's going to be co-writing it with Scott Snyder?
he's going to be co-writing it with Scott Snyder. Yes, he asked for it. Asked for Scott. They've been really buddy at San Diego and talking about this, and putting Scott on there. He's the best Batman writer there is right now. That book is so successful.
Right.
So and anything he touches seems to just go nuts. With the Wake. What else we got? We got Witches, of course, which is an awesome book that I've been reading.
It's gonna be a Brad Pitt movie.
Yeah, right. But when he touched the Court of Owls, Death of Family, 0 Year, and Endgame, they're going nuts.
Right.
Everybody's chomping at the bit for some Scott Snyder. So DC co-publisher Dan Didio and those above him want multiple issues with multiple artists, including the likes of Greg Capullo, Jim Lee, Andy Kubert, Mark Silvestri, and more. I am also told that Scott Snyder prefers a standalone title akin to Sandman Overture without the many spin-offs that Before Watchmen got. And that his artist on The Wake, Sean Murphy, is a favorite artist choice. So
Sweet.
yes. So we will
Wait, I'm sorry. Who was the favorite artist choice?
Sean Murphy.
From The Wake, Punk Rock
Yes,
Jesus.
from Punk
Wait, Sean Murphy.
Not our Sean Murphy.
Not our fan. Oh, I was gonna.
That man can't draw.
Leading?
Man can't draw a stick figure, let alone
Has that
anything.
man been leading a double life? We don't.
No, but there is
Sean, I'm
no.
gonna have to go check out Sean Murphy's work. Then.
Yeah, the stuff on The Wake is awesome. Stuff is awesome.
His pencil work is like nobody else's. It's
Yeah.
so detailed. It's almost like comic strip level, like playfulness, but really detailed. I love his stuff, man.
But you do
Cool.
bring up a point. Is this like the Jurassic World, as you joked? And is this
Right,
something we
Godfather-
want?
Is it too late? Is this Son of the Mask? Do we need this sequel, trequel?
I'd like to, because we haven't heard from Carrie Kelly. I'd like to see it.
Do we care?
Well-
I mean, like in the sense, like her character was really just contained to that one most excellent storyline.
Well, so was that Bruce Wayne.
Right, but my point is, like just on its own, it didn't. But I mean, obviously, they made a sequel of Dark
Yeah,
Knight Returns.
DK2. Yeah,
So yeah, you know what?
I like it. I like it. I
Make
think
it
it'd be a good idea.
Why not?
And the two of them together, that's awesome. I mean, I'm already hooked
Miller
because
and
of Scott.
Snyder.
I'm already hooked because of Snyder.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like Frank either, but I love.
Yeah,
I love you,
'cause
Scott.
You're still. I mean, you are
Yeah.
heavily invested in the Batman titles right now.
And I will get a goddamn interview from that man if it kills me. 2
Right.
years in a row,
You
goddamn
won't.
it. It's the curse. You're an asshole. You're an ass. Thanks a lot for supporting me.
DW, your car is being towed. Please.
Let him take it. Take it. Take the car.
Take it
I don't
out.
care.
Crush it into a cube.
Take it.
Crush it into a
I will-
cosmic cube. I don't care.
I will say it right now, 2015, I will have a sit-down interview with Scott Snyder.
That's
I'm telling you
that's
right
what
now.
Mike and I are getting you for Christmas
Are you
and your
really?
birthday.
Yeah. If that's
And
what
let's
you're
bring him out now. We got a special guest on the show.
Let's play.
Oh Oh my God, Scott, you're so amazing.
Hey, I'm Scott Snyder. I'm glad to be here today.
He doesn't sound like no, you don't.
I
No,
do it?
you did not. You got nailed.
Son of a gun.
But anyway, comics. So we got new comics. Did you pick up anything this week?
No, I actually have not gone down to Saratoga to the Comic Depot at 514 Broadway, just inside Saratoga Springs, to meet all your fanboy needs.
You did it too fast. You did it. Hold on. You did it too fast. You didn't do it correctly.
Not enough
What?
inflection.
Come on. It's the Comic Depot, just inside Saratoga Springs at 514 Broadway, to meet all your fanboy needs.
Wait, you don't do the fanboy. Mike, do you want to try it?
I can do it any way I want. I'm the one who originated the tag.
Mike's gonna do it.
Just inside Saratoga Springs for all your fanboy needs.
I like it. It's
was
good.
good.
That's good.
That was really good. So,
That's
anyways,
good.
I have not gone down
Okay.
yet because I'm supposed to meet. I've been selling some toys on Craigslist, and I got to meet a guy.
Oh, it's that time of year.
I got to
You
meet,
gotta
a guy in a
buy
parking
guy.
lot at night to do a cash deal for some He-Man toys.
If you drove by the guy in the poncho, you've gone too far.
I have to sell a man some shirtless action figures for money.
Nice.
Dark parking lot.
Nice.
So, anyways, I'll be going down there today. Honestly, I don't think anything comes out for
I
me.
only had
I
two.
know, like Angela Asgard's Assassin
yes,
number 1
that-
comes out
yep.
today. That is kind of cool.
I bet you that's a hot pick.
Guardians 3000 number 3 comes out today, which I dropped off after issue number 1. I did not like it.
You don't do the 2 or 3 issue rule, do you?
Not when they're $4 a pop, and not
Nope.
when my toy habit is way too much.
I understand.
Yeah. Deadpool number 38 comes out today.
You guys
though,
need
and
to
I
go
gotta
to
say,
TA.
there is an awesome cover to Deadpool number 38. So if you haven't seen it, just click it under Google, take a look at the cover. Legendary Star-Lord number 6 comes out today. That does look compelling, but I'm not going to read it because I don't have the first 5 issues. Thanos versus Hulk number 1 comes out today, written by Jim Starlin. I think it's illustrated by Jim Starlin as well, right? The creator of Thanos.
I'm not.
Yeah, I don't like Jim Starlin. I hate to say it, Mr. Starlin, sir. How you doing? I mean, it's like, yeah, you created Thanos, and I know you did Infinity Gauntlet, and for that I'm so thankful. I loved it when I was a kid and whatnot, but it's like what Jason Aaron did with Thanos in, what was it, Thanos Rising, the miniseries from like last summer. Like, that was awesome. That really reinvented Thanos.
Yeah.
And the Thanos annual that came out several months ago was it was just a bland retelling of Thanos.
It was crap.
I did not enjoy it much.
And really, you had to pick the Hulk. I don't get it.
Well, that's it. I mean, yeah, like the Hulk is a brute, and yes, Thanos is physically a large character, but it's not like he's known for his brute strength. You know what I mean? Like Thanos does so much more than just being a strong guy.
Cash grab. Excuse me.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I am curious about the series. Like, I hope it certainly does well. But yeah, comics, not much. But I will say, Superior Foes of Spider-Man number 17 came out last week. The final issue, Mike, hopefully you can back me up on this, sir, because I consider Superior Foes of Spider-Man to be like the indie comic of Marvel Comics.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody was sad to see it go.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm just so glad. Kind of like what we're talking about, Grimm. Kind of like the show Grimm, where it's like, hey guys, you have this many episodes. Like, we're wrapping it up, so it gave them time to actually finish the story, and I'm so thankful for that. It didn't just get canceled. So if you guys didn't pick up Superior Foes of Spider-Man number 17, final issue, check it out. Cover is a nice nod to the Avengers post-credit scene with Nick Spencer and Steve Lieber, the artist and writer, cooking in the background for them during the shawarma. What was the post-credit scene in Avengers? Shawarma. Is that how I pronounce it? But it was such a fun, oddball ride, and the whole thing was great. I love the Shocker. He finally gets the respect that he has been looking for decades. You know, he comes in his 70s, Shocker decoed spider car, saying, don't mock the Shocker. And he essentially ends up ruling all of the mobs of New York City, which is freaking awesome. Things work out for nearly the whole. What about you for comics?
We're having if you can hear, we're having a little bit of a
did we lose
buffer
Mike?
problem. Yeah, a little bit. We're having a buffer problem, but it's
Mike.
connecting. But anyway,
No!
my 2 comics, it was pretty quiet this week. Earth 229 and GL 37. That would be Green Lantern 37. So that's a light pickup. But last week I got my Thor 165 and 166. It was so
yeah, why aren't they hanging on the walls?
Because I don't have any frames yet. We
Check out Crisis.
Got Crisis.
Green Lantern,
yeah, I gotta get some more frames from the Comic Depot. So yeah, but
is Mike back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
Oh, thank the maker.
But let's go right into our monthly segment here with Mr. Mike Sains, the host for Independent Corner. So take it away, Mr. Sains.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to follow in your vein and kind of go over our list of the really good comics that came out, because last week was Thanksgiving week, and the day before Thanksgiving just so happened to have a bunch of really good titles. So we are remiss if I don't mention everything leading up to my number 1 Indie Corner pick of the week. So let's go down the list. Last week, Mind Management is coming up. We're only doing 36 issues. We're at issue number 28. Matt Kint is really gearing up for the final whatever is building up. I mean, things are going crazy in this world. People are really starting to drop like flies. So Dark Horse really has a winner, like kind of finishing up. That was really award worthy. I mean, that's going to be my pick every time it comes out. Sundowners number 4 on Dark Horse. Imagine Alcoholics Anonymous for people with superpowers, and they're really depressed and kind of pathetic. And there's an antagonist kind of stirring the pot behind the scenes. I won't say anything else other than that. Number 4 continues to solidify that Tim Seeley, he's writing revival on Image Comics, and he's writing for DC Comics as well. I think a couple of Batman titles. The guy is a genius. More attention than he's getting as a writer. Let's see. This week, Birthright number 3 really surprised me. It's a fantasy book on Image Comics that is, it's without giving too much away, it's a fantasy book that actually has the potential to like really carry over in the comic book medium, because you just don't have a lot of books that work fantasy-wise. You have Sovereign from Chris Roberson that didn't really do so well, and it's coming out the trade, but I don't really even know if it's ongoing anymore. Claw came out 3 weeks ago. Not really a large response to that, but Birthright has such a nice hook to it that it really does dig your claws, and I would recommend checking out the review that Cody Mudge did for Capeless Crusader this week. Had very high praise and really summed up why it's working so well. Woods number 8. Fantasy horror coming of age story. And crossover potential. They did recently. They're bringing back Bill and Ted, the return of their excellent adventures. And so Escape from New York dropped this week. And if you're a Kurt Russell fan or a Snake Plissken fan, you got to get in on this. I don't know if the book's any good or not, but I know that I love that movie.
Oh, the movie's a classic.
Los Angeles, I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot stick, but New York, could not recommend it high enough. But everything here, PRD 1952 number. Mike Mignola joining John Arcudi again on the art. This series, it's like a watercolors, fully painted young Hellboy in all military garb, like on military. Again, Mike Mignola is like artistic anomaly where his stories were not and the Mignolaverse and the Hellboy universe, the PRD, Lobster Johnson, all those characters that he's established is one of the most prized possessions in all of indie comics. And what he has done with Hellboy BPRD 1952 is taken Hellboy before Wake the Devil, before Seed of Destruction, before we ever knew who he was or that he was an agent working for the government. His very first mission, where he was still a teenager, people didn't know, is he going to just unleash hell, literally, when he gets out onto the street? Or is he going to play ball and really be useful to us? And everybody, the way they talk about him in the 1950s backdrop really feels like they're talking about atomic weapons. And I did not miss out on that. I think Mike Mignola might be hinting at it. It's not all that overt. But the way that they talk about Hellboy, the human beings, it really feels like they're talking about an atomic bomb. And it works on all of these levels, and it doesn't even happen until you're done reading it that you're like, oh, this was way more than just a Hellboy book. This was him discussing these larger topics. But at the same time, telling the story and establishing threads that dedicated readers and new readers alike will really appreciate, because you have this cast of characters that have been going for 20 years now. And you don't need to know anything about anybody, because this all happens before the very first mission on the timeline or anything even happens. So it's a really brilliant move on Mike Mignola's part as a writer. Like, am I going to do any more Hellboy? How can I possibly do any more Hellboy now that he's dead and in hell? Spoiler alert if you haven't read the 20 years worth of Hellboy stuff.
Dude!
Well, thanks a lot, Mike. Way to go.
It's a genius move. It's like, well, let's just have Hellboy, like the way they did Itty Bitty Hellboy a couple years ago for kids. Yeah, it's the teen years, but it's totally like, it's dark and it's artsy and it's everything that Hellboy is supposed to be. I give it a perfect 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Cool.
Yes.
That's a lot coming from you. A perfect score.
Yeah, I cannot recommend it enough. It's building It's just the first issue. It's not one of these like, oh my God, like action-packed things. It's much more of like you're hinting and it's moody and it's boding and foreshadowing. And nobody does it quite like Mike Mignola. So this is a very good time for fans of indie comics in general. So that is my pick of the week, coming up strong. BPRD 1952, #1. Just for the Malieve cover alone, but the story, man,
Nice.
gives me chills.
Well, thank you, Mr. Sains. That was Independent Corner by Mike Sains. Awesome. Thanks, man. I got to say, independent comics, too. I mean, I think it was you that got me on to more of the Image stuff with Black Science.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And that's really taken a turn.
Yeah. Cowl. And
which is coming back next month, I think.
Yes. And I'm really digging Kirkman's new Outcast.
Which is already going to TV. They've cast the lead for it already.
I think they have already
going to production.
I think that news came out before the issue 1 came out. I mean, so Kirkman's hot right off the presses right now with that. So check out your independent section at your local comic book shop. Some great stuff going on there. Also, last week I hinted to a special episode. Apologize. Too much turkey going on with everybody else, so we couldn't get a special episode. But I did put up one. Was not an IncCast, but it was a special episode. I was my guest appearance on our good friends, the Nerd Church podcast. So go check out that podcast if you haven't yet. Those guys were awesome. I had a good time hanging out with them and talking about sex balls and some weird stuff with them. But the Ira, Michael, Stan, Sean, and Miles, great bunch of guys over there, the clergymen of the Nerd Church. So go check them out at nerdchurchpodcast.com and check out that episode. I actually sounded somewhat intelligent for once.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. There was no editing either, and I think that was really impressive.
It was good. Their sound quality is fantastic. If you guys are listening, your sound quality is really impressive.
Yeah, they did a great job. Sean is their producer. It'll be cool. We'll be talking with Sean and those guys further down the road, I'm sure. Well, they got some great things in the works.
Yeah, some good DC area boys. I like them. I listened to the episode. I knew about them before, and they're good guys.
Yeah, it's great. We got in Joe. We got into Fanboy Rage, but NFL style. Sean was really complaining about the fact of how he doesn't really care for football anymore because one, the organization doesn't know how to handle their situations very well. With players, with domestic, and then the fans. He's like, I've never seen so many. I'm so upset with the fans. I'm like, just the way they act. My team this, your team this. It just like I was saying, it was like bullying. It's like Fanboy Rage, NFL stuff. It's gotten worse. Yeah. Well, so is Fanboy Rage, but
so it's like every fan of the NFL is like
not every fan. There's certain teams that are worse than others.
Right.
Yeah,
definitely
they did. I know Philadelphia.
They said Philadelphia was one of them.
I was going to say, I mean, Philly. Like my family is from Philly, and like they hammer. I mean, shit. If you even see like It's Sunny in Philadelphia, that the Philly fans will hammer down. Like they have a jail in the Philly stadium. I mean, the
very first stadium to ever have a jail in it.
I take pride in that. I take pride that I come from Philadelphia with that.
But anyway.
And I don't even like sports. I could give two shits about sports, but I like that.
Okay.
Necessity breeds innovation, gentlemen.
Yes. So go check them out, nerdchurchpodcast.com. They come out every Friday. What else we got going on? We didn't
talk about the Suicide Squad. Jared Leto is the Joker. Will Smith as what's his face? Deadshot. And it leaves me just with a big pile of who gives a shit.
Yes, thank you.
It really does. Like, man, it's still just to me. It's still just DC, just so desperate to catch up with Marvel, and it leaves me with a giant. And now that I've actually finally gotten into the DC shows, DW, as you have been for years, like, honestly, that's fine. DC, you can have the small screen. That's terrific. But just, man, the big screen, I don't. But you know what? That is not to say that it's going to be a bad movie. It could be the best movie in the world. It could be so freaking cool, and I'm going to love it. But really, when you're telling me all this news, I don't care.
And DC has done this thing. I said it to DW last time I was on the show. Why does DC... They always make their announcements like 2 days after these huge announcements. They waited 2 days after the Star Wars trailer came out, and they're like, "Hey, well, here's Will Smith for Deadshot."
Well, would you rather have him do it 2 days before, and then it just gets shadowed anyway?
Wait 1 week.
Exactly.
Wait 5 business days
in a 24-hour news cycle. For
Just
that, wait a week. You nailed it, Mike. Oh, here's some other news. Here's some other news. Did you guys hear Hasbro was in possible, and there was possible talks of Hasbro acquiring DreamWorks animation studio.
What just happened?
You didn't hear that? I think it literally, and again, this is the 24-hour news cycle. I mean, this was like a heavy-hitting 15 minutes that this thing was up for.
That's a lot of money somebody's losing.
Well, that's it, because it made me realize what a player Hasbro has become as a result of the Transformers franchise, and I'm sure somewhat the G.I. Joe franchise as well. I mean, I know Gem and the Holograms is coming out as well next year or some crap like that. But anyways, yeah, Hasbro was in negotiations to be purchasing DreamWorks, not the other way around. And I guess Disney / Marvel / Lucasfilm like had a huge this pretty much like, hey, we are a large part of, like, we're your bread and butter, or we're a big chunk of it with the Marvel license, with the Star Wars license, like, the fuck. And
yeah, what are you doing going to the competition?
Yeah. I mean, because DreamWorks is direct competition for Disney. And so the from what I read, the negotiations fell apart, but that was an interesting read. That was an interesting bit of news that
making
came out.
Movies for toys.
Now we need to have like a Madagascar versus Ice Age. the two studios just need to have like a fight with their characters and settle this.
Celebrity death match.
Madagascar and Ice Age are both DreamWorks.
Oh, damn it!
You fool! But here's something though. Wait, I lost it. I had it and I lost it. What was it? The fuck? What was I saying?
Sounds like a lot of your dates.
Yeah, right. I swear this is the first time it's ever happened.
It's the first time this has ever happened, I swear.
Yeah. Yeah, but
well, anyway, when you try to get that back.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Hasbro and DreamWorks are acquiring each other.
Oh yeah. So my point was, I think it was on Newsarama today. They were asking, hey, which Hasbro property, or which 80s toy property do you think would make the best new movie franchise? I mean, there's tons of them. Centurions and Humanoids, Gem and the Holograms, which has been greenlit for movie treatment. Mask. I think Mask Toys, Hasbro bought Kenner back in the 90s. They started, Kenner had the Star Wars license back in the day. They developed Mask Toys, transforming cars. They would transform from a car to a jet. And Kenner since acquired those rights. I think Hasbro, it'd be a very smart move. Do a Mask movie. What does Mask stand for? Mobile Armored Strike Command. But honestly, like with the popularity of the Fast and the Furious franchise,
you could do it like that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That. Honestly, in my mind, I'm like, if Hasbro's to make this movie work, that's the way you got to do it. There you go. Smart move. So Hasbro, if you're looking for an 80s toy property to develop, forget Battleship.
That was movie's
with Liam Neeson.
Even though Liam Neeson rocks, but that movie sucked.
Well,
that was bad.
Yeah, I never even bothered to see it, and we've talked about it on the pod before.
It was like on TNT.
So many good actors too. Taylor Kitsch, the guy from True Blood, who's really good.
I think
Liam Neeson. I mean, what the hell?
But I think the biggest problem I had with it, like, you remember what my favorite part of playing Battleship was as a kid? When my Battleship went up against the alien invaders.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, that never happened. I was simply fighting other battleships.
Remember when we put the dome over the battleships and the aliens couldn't let us in or out?
Yeah,
no,
right?
That did not happen.
That was a penultimate moment of my 8th birthday.
How many times did you ever cheat on that game?
That's the cheating game.
Yeah.
I used to stack ships.
That's right, you would stack all your ships. Oh God, I would do that too.
I've hit everything on your board. No, you haven't.
No, that's good. Oh
my
so
God.
Hasbro, if you want to make a good movie, forget Battleship. Let's see Mask on the big screen.
I'll take that. I second that.
Listen to him, because the only thing I can think of is Street Sharks, and I don't even know if Hasbro owns
Oh my God.
Well, Mike, it was good having you on the show. Take care, and we'll talk to you never.
We'll talk to you next month at the Independent Corner.
Street Sharks.
That was cool. Come on. That'd be kind of neat.
Oh, it's terrible. You might as well go with Food Fighters from Mattel.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, that's me.
Did they ever do anything with like Thundar or anything like that as far as toy properties are concerned?
What do you mean, like Thundercats?
Thundar the Barbarian.
Oh, Thunder, toys.
Yeah,
yes, they have made Thundar toys. There was a toy company in the early 2000s called Toynami. Which,
Okay.
Made an most excellent Space Ghost figure. They actually did a lot of awesome Hanna-Barbera cartoon characters too.
Side note, have you ever
And
read?
they did Thundar the Barbarian and his friends.
Let's do that on the big screen.
What, Thundar?
Yeah, I'd like
awesome.
to. That'd be awesome. You'd get a real lightsaber again.
What about Thundercats?
Thundercats.
We haven't had a Thundercats retouching, and
Well, we have
that might actually be good.
we have animation wise, but not movie wise.
And that property died several years.
It was too bad. I liked that show.
I really liked it too.
I did the younger Lino, and I did like that.
I liked the show. You know,
The animation was great.
It was good. It was a solid show.
Yeah.
But I mean, He-Man, that's a property we need to see on the big screen.
Yeah,
Thundercats.
Do we need to see that again? I just feel that it's going to be lackluster. Don't get me wrong.
Dolph Lundgren?
If they make it all about Skeletor, it would be so much better.
Just any remake of a really bad movie from the I don't know if they would do it justice.
You know, I'm
worried that they would. I'd love to see it done, but man, it better be done right.
Oh, of course. But yeah, I was watching some He-Man cartoons last night of the 2002 re-release that cartoon.
Oh God,
I love that show. That
Really?
show was freaking awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, that I actually just read an article about that show and how it was actually undone by its own piss poor toy line.
Well, I don't want to say, I won't say it was piss poor. Actually, the figures were awesome. They were sculpted by the Four Horsemen. Of course, we all know them from McFarlane Toys. I mean, they were like redone sculpts of the classic toys done for the new millennium. It was the distribution that I heard was often the problem.
Yeah. That's exactly right too. And it's a shame that can even happen. That something on the back end can go so awry that it actually messes up a quality show.
Right. But the show did go for 3 seasons, and man, they were freaking. Yeah, it was good. It was good stuff.
On a side note, we
need to see He-Man.
Damn it, you did it to me again.
What's
on
that?
A side note, you mentioned Space Ghost. You know, I didn't know in 2005.
Space Ghost!
I didn't know in 2005 DC owned the rights to that and did a comic book.
Yeah, Ariel Olivetti did the artwork.
Ariola? What?
No, Ariel.
Oh,
awesome, gorgeous artwork to the series. I never actually read it, but I
really. I was going to ask you if you ever read it.
No, because
he looked pretty badass too, not the corny cartoon.
I was going to Spa City Comics in Saratoga.
Oh
at the
shit!
time,
wow, yeah, I remember
DW
that. Which one?
I'm talking about
the one downstairs or the one upstairs?
One.
The downstairs one. Yeah.
This guy Adam owned it at the time, not John.
Yeah.
But anyways, I was going to the. I accidentally missed. And then the second, third issue, and like for me, I'm like, it's going to be such a pain in the butt to go and get the first issue. I'll just forget about it altogether. But I remember thumbing through some of those issues on the racks, and yeah, the artwork was phenomenal.
I want to see that come back.
I mean, Space Ghost is such a cool visual character.
Right.
One of the very.
I want to see him not corny. I want to see like an adult version.
Was this comic that came out? He wasn't.
No, I know that.
Space Ghost Coast to
Right.
Coast.
No, I know that.
It's not like when I dress up for Halloween and I play his character halfway between Will Smith doing Robert Goulet from his SNL bits and what's the guy in freaking what's the other damn
Carlton?
No, what's the
what are you talking about? Jazzy Jeff?
No, who's the guy? Where are you going, Fresh Prince, with this thing? But anyways, the point is, Space Ghost. Let's see him on the big screen.
I'd like to see him on the big screen. That would be pretty cool. Or bring back some animated series again. That was pretty cool.
There you go.
I like that.
Didn't Batman and Space Ghost team up on one of the episodes that you
Brave
watched?
Brave and the Bold?
One of the
I
shows
think
you
so,
watched?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Mike, do you know anything about that?
Nothing. But all I can think is
nothing.
Like, if you did a Space Ghost movie the way that like the Phantom, like Billy Zane, early '90s, like kind of like do it like straight up, like serious, but kind of fun at the same time. I think that would be really kick ass.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that, man. Like that movie catches so much flack. I love that movie.
It's a good movie.
It's
a good use of the character too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good way to do a character who has like iffy powers on an iffy budget.
on an iffy budget.
One of my favorite scenes in the Billy Zane 1994 Phantom movie is like he's talking to the British Army. They're inhabiting whatever part of Africa that the Phantom lives in, and he comes in through the window. He's like, "Why are you going through the window?" He's like eating like nuts or dates. He's like, "Well, I like the window," but it was like so nonchalant, so matter of factly, and I'm just like, man, Billy Zane, you play the corniest Phantom ever. I mean, I remember reading Lee Falk's The Phantom in the comic strips, but I don't know. He didn't play. Didn't play like Billy Zane.
Didn't play well.
Doesn't have that Zane quality.
Zany,
Yeah, right.
you zany man.
Hey, he
you.
wasn't zany,
Zany.
enough.
He wasn't zany enough. We Mike Sains gave us our picks.
I think
pick.
it's Mike Zane.
Zane. Hey, Mike Sains gave us his pick of the week. Mr. Nub.
My pick this week is going to be that Target exclusive collector.
Why do you always pick shit that either expensive or sold out everywhere?
It's $50. It's not that expensive.
It's sold out.
Well, it's partially, like I said, it's sold out at our Queensbury store. I'm going to be down in Saratoga later. I'll stop by there and check it out.
And you're going to be like, it's sold out there too.
I did look up online. It is available at Target.com.
Okay.
Yeah. So
nice.
Marvel Legends 3-pack, Miss Marvel, Captain America, and Radioactive Man.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that's cool. What about your pick, Kyle?
She's got some big hips. Or thighs or whatever.
I don't know.
She's definitely Marvelicious. Anyway,
well, that was inappropriate.
No, it wasn't. It was a compliment. My pick of the week is a little something unorthodox. It is that time of year again, guys. If you're listening, try to find or look up in the paper or online with your closest Toys for Tots drop-off spot. Every year I pick Fanboys Inc. and myself, find our local one. It's actually just around the corner from our headquarters. Whiteman Chevrolet has a nice little drop-off spot, and I'm good friends with the Collision Center manager there, Mr. Ken Lighton. We dropped off some awesome items this year. The kids, they need Christmas, no matter what age. The age group for Toys for Tots, I believe, is anywhere from infant to 14 years old. They did want me to mention on the air that for Toys for Tots, a lot of people that donate the toys, and don't get me wrong, they love all the donations, but they really catered to the little kids, you know, the infants to 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, and they kind of forget that, you know, you're getting into the teen years, up into the 14, 15-year-olds. So that's what I try to do with our stuff. We dropped off a Fathead, straight from Marvel. Thank you so much, Marvel Studios, for the Guardians of the Galaxy Fathead, a couple DC action figures, Star Wars action figures, and the Star Wars Lego set. I will be dropping off next week 65 comics with bags and boards wrapped in a box, and they're not going to be bagged and board. You know, that's part of the fun sometimes, is bagging and boarding your books. So I'm dropping off about 65. I have fun when I do it.
Wait a second. You got to bag and board the books.
I'm not bagging and boarding the books.
Bag and board?
No, I'm not bagging and boarding them.
First off, they're going to get lost.
No, they're not. They're in a box, Joe.
and you're trying to say that the kid part of the
It's part of collecting. You learn to bag and board it.
Does
Jesus
a random
Christ.
Teenager know that?
No, but when you put it all together in a fucking box, you will.
Language.
Jesus, I don't care.
Mike, what's your take on it, pal?
I actually I'm torn because I do like boxing, bagging, and boarding my own stuff, but I can see a teenager or a kid being like, you want me to do what?
Right. What am I supposed to do?
Well, that's why I'm doing it. I'm not bagging and boarding them. They should be able to bag and board them themselves.
Way to go, 95%, pal.
I don't see you doing a damn thing. Did you donate any toys yet? So I'd be quiet. So
are you
yeah. So don't tell me how to donate my toys.
How do you know I haven't donated?
Because I asked the other day and you said no. And did you give me toys to drop off at the drop-off spot? No.
Oh, I didn't realize that I had to give you
You
toys
do
to
know
drop
that.
off.
Yes. You know that.
Bag and board the books.
I'm not bagging and boarding the books. No, don't ruin my fucking donation. Jesus
Listeners,
Christ.
Let us know.
You're a dick sometimes. You know that? You really are.
The Krampus will be coming for you.
I don't question you when you do your shit, so don't question mine.
Bruce Dickinson.
Anyway, drop off. What a great way to fuck up a Toys for Tots promotion.
Hey.
Anyway, go over and try to check out your local Toys for Tots. Like I said, anywhere from infant to 14 years old, but they are having a shortage on teenage stuff. So we're going to try to drop off some more stuff. And it's cool because I was there. It's tough, you know, because you think about the little kids, but I'm still remember at 14. Maybe I did think they were Santa Claus at 14, but you're still a kid.
Yeah,
and
you mentioned that the other day too, and you know it made me. I'm like, you know what, that is a good point because I think most people they just think
like when you say
Christmas.
Toys for Tots, what do you think? I'm gonna get teddy bears. I'm gonna get the
like toddlers, children, teenagers as well.
Last year we donated. I did some graphic trades.
That's cool.
I had to be careful. I have to go through the books.
Don't drop off Saga for the 14-year-old.
That was what I was going to say. I may not be bagging and boarding, but I'm like, shit, there's some in there. Even some of the, there was a couple X-Men trades I gave last year. I had to go through that because even at 14, you're like, mom and dad. I mean, some of the covers are cool for us, but I'm you got to be careful. I do have some Tom and Jerry books, something like that. So I'm going to try to spread it out for, I might do 2 little packs. But yeah, they're still teenagers, they're still young adults, so try to cater to that once in a while to them as well. That's why I did the Star Wars stuff. I'm going to try to do the comics and maybe some little kid stuff. I didn't do anything really little kid stuff, but we got some Marvel stuff, that plush animals and stuff like that we can give. But yeah, guys, it's that time of year. Usually they stop by the December 15th. So if you can, try to find your local Toys for Tots drop-off spot. Also, check out your local comic book shop. I know the Comic Depot, they have a box there to donate comics.
Where are they located?
Unbagged. So I don't want to hear it.
Where's the Comic Depot located?
I'm waiting. I'm putting you on the spot. Do it.
Oh, they're at 514 Broadway, just inside Saratoga Springs. To meet all your fanboy needs.
How many years have I done this now? Over a year now on this one. We've been doing the advertisement for 2 years. It's just inside Saratoga Springs at 514 Broadway. It's not 514 Broadway just inside. You already know it's one more time.
Just a bit outside.
Well, that was the old one. Just outside Saratoga Springs inside the Wilton Mall. But anyway, yeah, so check out your Toys for Tots. Check out your local comic book shop. A lot of the guys have their boxes there, not just for the kids, but military.
That's awesome.
You know, the guys over there love reading the books. I mean, I read an article actually a few months ago about how the military, how they were shipping books over overseas. Superman and Captain America mainly really got its popularity from overseas. They sent out all these books over there.
Yeah.
So, you know, those guys have something that, you know, and they want to read. So send them over there. But do be mindful if you do send the books, your local shop will figure out which ones are good for the children. But if you're doing a Toys for Tots stuff, make sure it's somewhat suitable. You got to be careful with that. You know, I don't want to, like Saga, or what's the other one there with,
sex criminals?
Yeah, sex criminals, any Black Science, any of the Image stuff you might want to stay away from. But Marvel DC is pretty good.
Right.
But yeah, you got usually until the 15th. Usually is the last pickup before, so they can distribute the.
What about Walking Dead? I mean, that's.
Oh, I said anything Image, don't touch. You know, Walking Dead's pretty gruesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a teenager though, I mean,
that book is gruesome, dude. That book is gruesome. If I was concerned about an X-Men title going to 14, screw it. Yeah. Take a look the next time you're at the depot.
Right.
It's pretty graphic.
The actual.
That's one of those books where it's really going to depend on the parent. Like whoever's going to be administering this book to the child.
And I don't know how it all works, the logistics wise, as Toys for Tots.
Like I don't know. They break it.
I don't know if they say, okay, they have the list of the kids, and I do.
So a 6-year-old is going to get the Walking Dead trade.
Right. And the 14-year-old's going to get the Care Bears shit or something. I think what happens is they pick families, and let's say Johnny wants this, this, and this, and they try to come close to that. I'm not 100% sure. But like I said, check them out. Toys for Tots. You can check them out online. They'll give you some of the area locations, or look in the newspaper, or call your radio station. I know the radio stations usually know where all the locations are for that.
Little cheat, Chick-fil-A, they generally have their own version of that too. If you can't find Toys for Tots, they have a toy book set up too. Like they'll take toys or books, and they emphasize books. So
that's cool.
That's a good one. If you can't remember,
damn it, you got me on a rant today too. You're fucking pissing me off.
Who?
You got me all upset about my fucking bags and boards.
But Mike was just talking.
I know. I was still pissed.
All right.
We're working things out on the show.
Exactly.
We're working things out.
Exactly. We're not gonna get off pod until we hug it out.
I'm not
I know. Yeah, I know. Toys R Us, they do a drive. Walmart does a drive as well.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Chris Kaminsky, the Pusher, says Space Ghost Overready. How do you say it? Space Ghost Overready Run was fantastic.
Yeah.
I always recommend it. Love it.
Very cool. Nice. So
sorry, Chris, for yelling "fuck" into the microphone. If you're playing, if you're
sorry for doing it once again. I'll be down a little bit to pick up some masks.
Are you coming? Masks?
Yeah.
You got some mask toys?
Well, no. He got the individual masks for figures, and he's like, "Hey."
Oh, for which line?
For the mask toy line.
Oh, for the actual mask line. Oh, that's very cool. Very cool. I haven't decided whether I'm going to go down today or not. I got to do some other stuff. I should go down. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. You got anything else?
I think that's it for me.
Joe's gonna bag and board my fucking books while I just before I donate them to the kids.
There you go.
So if you want them bagged and board, Joe, you bag and board them.
I'll do it. I found it to be therapeutic.
Well, good. Like, some teenager might find it therapeutic.
Then we'll leave it. Then here's where we'll bag and board them. We'll leave a note and say, "Hey, kid,
take them out of the bag.
Take them out. and put them back. You know, like it's a Zen
No,
philosophy.
you know what though? I'm going to
like,
say it again. I think I would rather have them bagged and not bagged and boarded, just so you learn to bag and board them. It's part of the process of collecting. I mean, I didn't do it because of the fact of being lazy.
Right.
It's the fact of here, it's something to do. You read them. Oh, no, I get to bag and board them. I get to put them in my box. It's like the whole setup of the whole thing. I mean, I understand your take because I thought about it last night going, should I bag and board them? They might get ruined, but they're not like expensive books.
Right.
But I'm like, you know what? Maybe if I just put it all in, I'm going to put it in a short box, just like that, wrap it, make sure that it's one present, tell them what's on the thing. If they open it, it's like a little activity for them. You know what I'm saying? So
that's cool.
You probably thought I have bags and boards in separate comics.
Like,
no.
So all of a sudden, like some kid is going to open up bags and boards for Christmas, and then the kid down the street is getting comics.
You didn't listen to me. No, it'll be in a short box, just like that. 65 comics.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So I figured.
Do that.
Yeah. Thank you. God damn it. Yes. It's Christmas. I got it.
Christmas come early this year.
But anyway, guys at the Comic Depot, thank you so much for listening and broadcasting our IncCast here live. And if you're listening, we might both go down. Who knows? I got some stuff to do. Mr. Sains, anything you would like to push, talk, do anything before we go?
Well, I would just like to thank some people from Black Friday until yesterday, actually. A clothing company called Astoy Merchandise was selling a T-shirt as part of the fundraiser to help pay for my mom's medical treatments. She's been doing chemo and radiation all the last year, basically, and the bills are starting to pile up, and they had us flown out to Los Angeles for this year's Podfest in September. That was amazing. And then when we got home, they said, hey, by the way, you're going to have a T-shirt this Black Friday, and we're going to sell it all the way through Giving Tuesday. The sale just ended, and I'm not hearing bad news, so no news is good
Congrats.
news.
Yeah, we posted that
man.
on our Facebook page as well. No, congrats, man.
Yeah, and thank you to everybody who helped. Thank you, Fanboys Inc., for letting me post on the wall about the drive, getting everybody's awareness up. It's just been really, really cool when you're not getting a lot of help locally to see the internet actually do some good. And it was very humbling and very much in the Christmas spirit. So I can't thank you guys enough. Everybody who was participating in that, or, you know, if you want to get the word out after the fact, whatever you want to do, the fund is still going on. The T-shirt sale is over. And to tie it into Fanboys Inc., they actually called it the Heroes Fundraiser, and they took these comic characters from a podcast riff from a show called Walking the Room and turned them into superheroes on the shirt, and it says, "Let's be heroes" across the chest. And
yeah, it was a cool looking shirt. It was a cool looking T-shirt.
Yeah, it was actually pretty badass. So I always forget the artist name, but the whole artist team and Angelo Warner at Astoy Merchandise. Thank you guys times a million, and I'm sure I'll see you again to be able to thank you in person. But yeah, that's all I got. Just go to Help Nancy Beat Cancer on GoFundMe.com. You'll find the page there.
Nice, man.
Awesome. Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Cool. I'm glad you had a good holiday. Good. You had a good turkey day, sir. You guys can follow us over at fanboysinc.com. Follow us over at facebook.com/fanboysinc, and also tweet us over at fanboysinc. We got a lot of things coming up. Just a little heads up, we will be working on this year's 2014 award show. This one is going to be bigger and better than last year and the year before, and those were pretty big. We had some good times with that. We got some guests lined up. Got a lot of cool things happening. Plus our
Neil Patrick Harris is going to host this year, right?
Why are you fuckers keep doing these See, now this is confirmed. What did we confirm earlier? Everybody's going to be like, what? No, Neil Patrick Harris. Wouldn't that be funny if somebody actually got him and he called and be like,
awesome.
Hello?
Well played, Sains.
Yes.
Well played.
Well, since you called it, you worked the deal out there, Sains.
Right.
You called it. You get them here if that's the case.
I'll work on it.
But yeah, we're gonna have we got some great things working. I'm working on for 2015. Also, every Monday, check out brand new Comic Heads reviews, which has moved to Mondays. Also, Monday nights are brand new Random Guy with Mr. Philip Broyles. Wednesdays are us, IncCast. Thursdays are Infinite Crossover occasionally, as we just been busy with stuff, so it's been hard. We might go bi-weekly just because a lot of things going on. And we got 2 slots left open, and I might be a little premature, but we might have a seal for a Friday slot. And I'll tell you more about that Friday or Tuesday slot.
Constantine is moving to Fanboys Inc.
That's right, baby. That's right. If you don't watch it on TV, you're going to love the audiobook. You're going to love. Speaking of audiobooks, go over to audible.com for, as they are responsible, audibletrial.com / Jesus Christ. audibletrial.com/IncCast for your free 30-day trial and a credit for one free book. I don't think they have Constantine, but they got some cool stuff over there.
Cool.
Some really cool
Very
stuff.
cool.
Over 150,000 titles to choose from. Try it out. Tell us what you think. audibletrial.com/IncCast. I think I'm out. I don't know if I'm going to go to the depot or not, dude.
We'll
I
see.
don't know.
That's it for me. Later, nerds.
All right. Might.
Peace, you guys.
Peace.
That was good. Are we done?